In this video, I would like to reiterate an important point. In Matthew 23, we can agree that Jesus has told the non-believing Jews that they will be sent saints of God, that these saints will be killed, and that their blood shall be avenged. The timing of the judgment is stated unambiguously. Truly I tell you, all this will come upon this generation. Jesus cannot be speaking about any other generation because Jesus has told us that his audience will be the ones who kill the saints. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you build the tombs of the prophets and adorn the monuments of the righteous and say, if we had lived in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Therefore, you are witnesses against yourselves that you are sons of those who murdered the prophets. Indeed, I send you prophets, wise men, and scribes. Some of them you will kill and crucify, and some of them you will scourge in your synagogues and persecute from city to city. And so upon you will come all the righteous bloodshed that has been shed on the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel to the blood of Zechariah. Notice the definitively Jewish orientation of this judgment. When we read in Revelation 6 about saints being killed, we look back to Matthew 23 and see that Jesus has prophesied of this: scourging in synagogues, persecuting from city to city, crucifixion. This is the manner in which first century Christians were killed, being persecuted by Roman and Jewish authority. We can also see in Revelation 6 that there's the question of vengeance for innocent bloodshed, specifically the question of how long it'll go unpunished. In Matthew 23, Jesus tells the Jews that they are filling up their measure, that vengeance for innocent bloodshed by the Jews will be exacted upon the generation he addressed. So it's clear that Israel's judgment was to come swiftly after they filled up the measure of their condemnation by slaying the saints of the first century. And shall God not avenge his own elect who cry out day and night to him, though he bears long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Revelation 6 speaks of the vindication of first century saints, and it is directly related to Matthew 23. Modern Israel, the Israel of today, cannot be judged for the bloodshed of innocents in the same manner as Old Covenant Israel was judged at the parousia or second appearing of 70 AD. Because Old Covenant Israel has passed away, it has been judged, and through that judgment came the New Covenant as per the prophecies of Isaiah 65 and 66. The political entity of Israel that exists today is not waiting for the fulfillment of God's promises. Old Covenant Israel has been and gone. Listen to the words of James as he encourages a congregation, detailing the blindness of the non-believing persecutors who fatten their hearts in the day of slaughter that's coming upon them. Consider this. Does James sound like a man prophesying of a far, far distant future event? Or is he telling a people to be patient and to live in expectation of events that will occur in their lifetimes? Come now, you rich, weep and howl for your miseries that are coming upon you. Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver are corroded, and their corrosion will be a witness against you, and will eat your flesh like fire. You have heaped up treasure in the last days. Indeed, the wages of labourers who mowed your fields, which you kept back by fraud, cry out, and the cries of the reapers have reached the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. You have lived on the earth in pleasure and luxury. You have fattened your hearts as in the day of slaughter. You have condemned, you have murdered the just. He does not resist you. Therefore be patient, brethren, until the coming of the Lord. See how the farmer waits for the precious fruit of the earth, waiting patiently for it until it receives the early and latter rain. You also be patient. Establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord is at hand. Do not grumble against one another, brethren, lest you be condemned. Behold, the judge is standing at the door.